icebreaker. Let's spend 5 minutes on it. Is everyone able to see you on my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. One fact for fiction.
Ooh, okay.
Wait,
So
so
one of them is
four,
a fact,
Yes,
and
one of
four
them.
of them are fiction.
Oh
Okay.
no, sorry. No. Four facts, one
Four
fiction.
facts,
My
one
Oh,
bad.
okay.
My bad. Four facts and one fiction.
I hope three is a fact.
Is number
Mhm.
two the fiction?
I think two is fact. So we leave it in the chat, right?
Yeah,
Which one
leave it
is?
in the chat and we'll talk about it quickly.
I just signed myself out. No, I'm back.
Let me know when everyone's done. I can't see my chat box. So
I'm just reconciling to see if everyone is done.
let me know if everyone's voted. I mean, if you want
Yeah.
to, of course, no pressure. Okay, cool. Should we go over those quickly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the first one, the author was a practicing medical doctor and psychiatrist before the government fired her for her feminist writings. That's a fact. Her first book, I think that's her first book, Women and Sex. She wrote in 1969. Of course, her government didn't like her feminist writing and they fired her from her director of health. She was on a very, very good position in her in I think state affairs. So yeah, they fired her for that. Second one which says when imprisoned for political dissent in 1981, Saadawi famously wrote her memoir on toilet paper using a smuggled eyebrow pencil. That's true. That was a
Oh,
fact.
wow.
Even though
No, I
yeah,
knew that's true.
even though she was a political prisoner who were allowed at least pen, pencils, or papers, she wasn't allowed that.
Wow.
It
Look,
was
I guess it's a
mentioned in
certain
the
role.
author's.
Yeah,
So the
Well,
edition that I had, it was mentioned in the book. There was a special note by the translator.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I
I
heard an interview with her, and it was another prisoner that gave her the
Yeah,
eyebrow
eyebrow
pencil
pencil.
because she liked
wow.
so much this book.
Yeah,
So it was the
Aw.
reason why. Yeah,
yeah.
it
well,
was very
Done.
yeah, I
beautiful.
had obviously also looked up a lot of YouTube videos about this woman, and she had said that a woman had provided her the materials, but a guard had also told her
Yeah,
like y'all are more dangerous with pen and pencil than you are with weapons. Like
yeah,
Yes.
the things that y'all can produce in terms of ideas are much more dangerous than their violent criminals, which I think is obviously in her position meant that she wasn't going to live, but for what she can make last was a very beautiful, like, to me, that's like the pen is mightier, like it's a joke in the United States, but it's like we're much more afraid of what you can inspire
true.
than men and women out there who are just
Ab-
grabbing guns and knives.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's so true. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, totally fine. It's your platform. Just share whatever you want to share. Um, the third one, which says, following decades of heavy campaigning by Sadhwi and other activists, Egypt officially banned and criminalized female genital mutilation in 2008. It's a fact.
Oh,
Yay.
They finally banned it in 2008 and they brought in stricter rules in 2016 and in 2021. So that's a
Wow, so not that long ago.
Yes, not that long ago.
That's crazy.
Fourth one, Egypt is proud to be the very first Arab nation to have an author win the Nobel Prize in Literature. That's also a fact. Egypt is the first Arab nation. Of course, it was a man. His name was Naguib Mahfouz. He was the first Arab man from Egypt, of course. And the last one, because of its highly controversial themes, Women at Point Zero had to be written entirely in secret while Saadawi was living in exile in Europe. That's a fiction because she didn't write it in while she was in an exile in Europe. She wrote it in Egypt when she was in Egypt, but the censorship rules or whatever Egypt had at that time, they didn't let her publish it. So she published it in Lebanon, in Beirut. So the book was published first in Lebanon in 1908.
Wow.
Yes. But she wrote it in Egypt itself, and she actually interviewed a woman in prison named Firdaus, who was a real woman. And
Mhm.
yeah, while doing her psychiatrist research. So yeah. So it wasn't published in Egypt, although when we talk about Egypt, when we try to read about Egypt, that was the first book that came to my research. So that's an irony. So thank you everyone for participating in it. It's always fascinating to learn more about what we are reading about.
So
So
50% of us voted for 5, which is the correct answer. So
there you go. There you go. That's good. Well, when I make these, I only learn about these things then. So I don't want to say I cheated, but I am also one of you. So okay, so welcome everybody. We are here for the letter E, Egypt, Women at Point Zero. And I have gotten random reviews from each of you here and there while reading about what you felt about the book. But here we are talking about the book finally. The day has come, and a lot of us wanted to come, but they couldn't. But we'll make sure that our ideas, our perspectives reach them as well, and they can share their I want to read what Michelle wrote, but I'll read later. But as a customary, let's start with one word review of the book. What was the one word that came to your mind when you read the book? Let's start with that. Who wants to go first? There you go, Nikki.
Uh, Honestly, devastating. Just that was it. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I finished it.
That's good.
next is Ravika.
I would say hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very hard hitting. Yeah.
Who wants to go next? Anusha. Yeah, Anusha.
For me, it was disturbing.
Okay.
I had to take breaks before, going to the next section. So I was pretty disturbed, and it continues to stay with me. The book continues to stay with me.
Maria.
It was heartbreaking for me.
That's true. Well, I wouldn't recommend anybody this book who wants to read short books, because short books, I mean, that's good. Carla?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I choose the word freedom
freedom.
because I thought a lot what it means to be free as a woman, and I was surprised by the final because I think that was an act to be free, at least. I think the option that she made in the end.
That's good. That's good.
Maddie.
I chose the word brutal.
Brutal.
Her whole life, from start to finish, through her relationships with her mother and father, all the way up until where anybody even asked her, like,
Mm.
why are you here? Like, why did this happen to you? Like, no, not one person cared. Everybody would pretend to be interested in her as far as she could serve them. And then when she finally had autonomy, she was arrested. So I just thought that was very brutal and made me very grateful for the relationships that I have.
Simmer?
Um, I agree with all the words that have been said, but my one word would be power packed because that small book had so much power. Every microcosm of this book had so much power to fill me with the rage. Rage against all men in the world, rage against patriarchy. So I would say that little book, that short book, was packed with power. So much power in the words of the author, in the reflections of Firdaus. Power packed is the word. Powerful or power packed.
Thank you. Maria? Did Maria go again? Yeah.
Yes, I went. I said
Maria,
heartbreaking. It was
Maria's
heartbreaking.
all right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Just like Maddie was saying, just like, the start of like everything that happened with her family and her uncle, and it was sad that she never really found someone that really cared about her.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm the only one left. I have to share that I read this book second time in 6 months. I read this book 6 months ago. Um, I don't know if it happened with others, but if you start watching one of the reels by the author, your feed is full of her. Like you get so many videos by the author. So and that's what happened kind of 6 or 7 months ago. And I was so intrigued by her speeches. I was so intrigued by her thoughts, and I wanted to read about her book. And luckily, when I don't know, coincidentally, when I searched for the book price, of course, the book is not available at independent bookstores. So I searched the book at Amazon, and the book was priced at, I think, around, I don't know, it was shocking. At that time, it was priced at $300 at
Oh my
Amazon.
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. At that time, I remember 6 months ago. And luckily, I was going to India to see my parents. And I was like, okay, I'm going to see how much it cost in India. And it was like 70 or 80 rupees, which is like $1, $1 or $2.
Less than $1, yes.
Yeah. So, and I
Wow.
was like, okay, I'm going to buy this book in India. I'm not going to buy it at Amazon. So what happened, when I went to India, I bought the book and I read it right away in one day. And I was so full of anger at that time when I read it the first time. So now, Simmer was asking me, are you going to read it again for the book club? I said, of course, because I remembered the anger that the book gave me, but I kind of forgot about the story here and there. It was 6 months ago.
I'm
And
angry it cost you $300 to get that book.
it was priced at $300 at Amazon
I
at
got
that
it
time.
for like $7.
Yeah, maybe because at that time they were out of stock and they were importing it from somewhere. I have no idea.
That's
Yeah, so I got it for $1.
these are the I'm very grateful for y'all's book club because I just feel like I don't know, in the States we just have this accessibility.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think at that time they were out of stock and they were saying like you have to wait for certain months and it's even if you wait, you have to pay this much. And now I check the price, it's again back to normal pricing. But at that time I have no idea. Maybe
Weird.
the universe
It's just
wanted me to buy
very
it from India.
that's just a very interesting
Yeah.
thing that I don't know. That's weird.
If you check the price of unselected journals of M.I.M. Lion, that is also very high on Amazon. So I guess at that point, which they might have not printed in
Yes.
Canada,
Yes.
because the unselected journals of M.I.M. Lion are British editions. So the British editions are showing quite expensive. I haven't checked recently, but I checked a month ago. They
Mhm.
were quite expensive, like $180 for 3 books.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
think
telling you,
it's
it's
the
a start.
country they print in.
And also the availability, as I said. So maybe at that time they had to import it from somewhere. But long
Mm-hmm.
story short, I read it this time. I wouldn't say I was as angry as I was the first time. I felt liberating. I felt so liberated. Like, thank God she killed that guy, even though it is
Yeah.
morbid to say that. I felt
No.
liberated. I don't want anybody to kill anyone. I'm not I'm not normalizing it, but I felt like, okay, maybe that was the outlet, right? So I felt liberated after reading this book, maybe the second time. The first time I was definitely angry and I wasn't myself. I was like, okay, what did I just read? Why the whole world is so crazy about this book? This book is so bad for my mental health because it's making me so angry on behalf of Firdaus. But yes, and I felt liberated after reading it second time. So yeah, liberating was my one word review. Um, yeah, but thank you everyone for giving your one word reviews. I wanted to read about what Michelle sent because she said, please. She was kind enough to send her review before her big day today. So she said her one word review is unbroken. Despite everything Firdaus has endured, she has claimed control of her own destiny. So many times, situations and people could have broken her spirit, but she remains unbroken to the end. That's Michelle.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
so yeah, so that's it. Let's move on to our next section. I have prepared a few questions, but if any one of you have any questions or any discussion that you want to put forward, and we can discuss about it. But like the platform is yours, guys. Like it's not only mine, it's yours. So let me know if you have any question or discussion that you want to do. What I have prepared, I'm gonna go with the list, but let me know. The first question that I had prepared is, what surprised you the most about Firdaus? Firdaus's story, basically. What surprised you the most that you thought, oh, take your time?
That's a good question. Yeah, I have to.
Simmer, you want to go first? Yeah, go ahead.
So, I wouldn't call it surprise, but I was more of shocked. But actually, it kind of is also explained by Firdaus herself. So when she is leading a, a job that is outside of prostitution, when she has spent 3 years in that company, and she is now living the life of what everybody perceived as a respectable life, the heartbreak was so big. I hope everyone has read the book, right? I'm always worried about giving spoilers, but the heartbreak of Ibrahim getting engaged to the chairman's daughter was so big that she she found, like, she went back to that life, and that was something which was shocking and surprising. But then later she also explains it in her own words that the heartbreak was so unbearable, the pain was so unbearable, that the pain of going back to that life, going back to the prostitution, and the physical pain that she had to bear was nothing compared to the pain that heartbreak gave her. So it was kind of shocking, very surprising that she could have continued in that life, but that heartbreak jolted her so much out of that life that she found comfort. I wouldn't call it comfort, but she for some reason went back, and that pain was still bigger than the pain that she had to endure in those days. So that would be my shocking part. Like, I was shocked, why did she go for it? But again, it is explained in the prose that comes next.
Yeah.
I would love to hear other
Yeah,
perspectives as well.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I
And
guess.
yeah,
Oh no, sorry. Like what you just said, I guess, is uh the relatability is I've never you know, used my body for money, but also like her understanding of like I definitely have sold my soul to the 9 to 5 and degraded myself. You know, I was a cocktail waitress at a very nice country club and definitely was disrespected by men. So yeah, that was that she chose to go back to doing that on her terms. Was being like, oh, I actually am not so far away from this woman. Like that.
Very good point.
I hear you, Maddie. I hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, very good point. Very good point. Yeah. Anyone else? I just had a random thought. I think what surprised me or shocking, you can say the same thing as Simmer said, that even though she was in a very bad and oppressed state, even due like from the right from her childhood, she was very self-aware, you know. She knew who holds the control
Mhm.
in my house. She knew my father holds the control, the power. She knew when she went to uncle's house, she knew even though he's married to a powerful man's daughter, you know, when her uncle tried to, you know, force himself on his wife, his uncle hold the power. You know, she
Mhm.
knew. She knew. So throughout the book, I noticed one thing about her, like no matter how oppressed she was always self-aware, like I need the power. And even during when she was a little kid, taking care of her brothers and sisters, seeing her mother getting beaten up from father, she wanted that power. So that's what I think surprised me. Like, you know, how it just shows in a way that oppressed doesn't mean necessarily that they don't understand what's going on. You know,
I'm
they
actually, I
self-aware.
just wanted to offer this, and I'm sorry I'm not as eloquent as I would normally be because I've been drinking, but when I listen to audiobooks, I only listen to like scandalous, like
Mhm.
autobiographies. So I'm listening to Confessions of a Video Vixen or something, where it's a woman who was just in a bunch of American music videos, and she like got a bunch of blowback because they were just like, "Oh, this slut is just telling about like all the famous people that she's been with and stuff like that." But like she tells it like from her childhood of having just like this horrible mother and a father who was actually very wealthy and could have intervened and helped her, where she learned that like this was her ticket. Like she didn't have an education or anywhere to go. And I actually kind of drew a parallel to this woman between the two. Like, yeah, the woman that I'm listening to right now, like she made her money like shaking her butt in music videos and stuff like that versus this woman. And they just knew like these people weren't going to be resources. So they just did what they had to do. I don't think that made as much sense as I wanted it
Yeah,
to, but
That made sense.
it
I
does.
got that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
was
does.
well said still.
well, and it's ongoing right now that they're calling her like kiss and tell, like, oh, you did all this and now you're just doing this to make money. But it's like, weren't all of these people making money already and used her?
Yeah, yeah, true. If nobody else has anything to add to that, we'll move on to our next question. You have, Nikki?
I I'm trying to think like this is actually a tough one because I don't think that I was surprised by any of her actions because I think a lot of what she did was just survival and justified. Um, but I guess maybe what is surprising is just like how resilient she was. And as devastating as it was reading it, every time she described like putting her stuff in her small bag, I was like, oh, yes, like she's doing it. She's so strong, right? And then it just kept happening again. So I guess just, I don't know. Because, like, if I was picturing myself like in that type of situation just happening over and over again, because like Maddie said, like I'm super grateful for the people that I have around me right now. Um, I probably would have crumbled. So I was just surprised at how absolutely incredibly resilient she was, but I wasn't surprised by any of the actions that she did. I was happy she did most of them, to be honest.
That's good. That's good.
That's
Yeah,
a beautiful perspective.
yeah, that's really good. Do
Maybe
Sorry, stealing the show. Is that like your last question? Is everybody cool that she killed that guy?
Well, I don't see anything else
I'm
beyond
like,
that because,
she should have killed 5 guys.
100% agree.
well, yeah.
100% agree.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Do
The
you?
rage got activated very late, actually.
Well,
It should
when
have
I
been at the first.
Yeah, when I actually finished the book, because I was waiting for so long for it from the library, but it just was never becoming available. So I ended up just finding the audiobook on Spotify. So I finished the book, I think it was on Tuesday. And I want to say maybe I finished it Tuesday night, and then I was still thinking about it in the morning when I woke up. And then Wednesday morning, I saw the video of the chief of police of Ontario, province that I'm in, Vichinson and similar. And I don't know if you saw it, but he was making a video about the recent investigation. It actually was an internal video where he was addressing police officers in Canada because they've been using their internal systems to track down addresses and information of women and stuff like that. And I was already, again, just thinking about that book full of rage. And then watching that video where he was saying to them, you better smarten up or quit. And I was like, that's what you're saying? Smarten up or quit and not you're fired. And so I went into a whole rabbit hole reading specifically about like Peel Police Force and all of that stuff, and it just gave me so much more rage. And I was like, this is why nothing ever happens, because nobody gets fired, everybody gets paid leave, and I just was
Oh
so
no,
upset.
I'm a 911 dispatcher in the United States, and
Oh
they well, sorry, we could have a whole
no, go
nother
ahead, go ahead.
Zoom.
I
Yeah, we could
bet.
have a whole nother
I
Zoom,
bet.
but let this book club continue on with their questioning.
Ravika wants to answer the question. Ravika?
Yeah, this is just something that had stood out for me, her longingness for her teacher, Iqbal. And then sort of the same pattern coming up, with Ibrahim, the longingness, the hope that he will come there to the park and sit with her and they can talk it out. That is something that had stood out for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I absolutely. It was devastating that people whom she trusted, they were like, oof. Um, I wanted to talk about this, and I really want to know what's your thought on this. And do you see Firdaus primarily as a victim, a survivor, or something else entirely?
Survivor and fighter.
Yeah, anyone else?
Fighter for sure.
Fighter, yeah.
Fighter, yeah,
Fighter. I like the word that Nikki
fighter.
introduced, fighter.
I
So,
think,
yeah, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah,
Ram.
I think victim of the society, but with a fighter spirit, she did navigate,
Mhm.
even when the stakes were not in her favor, she still like fought her way through. Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually a very good perspective because for sure she was the victim. It's just that we don't want to belittle her by calling her a victim, but in the true spirit, she was the victim of the entire society and the patriarchy and the way men treated her. So definitely a victim.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna go with neither. I'm gonna say protagonist.
Okay.
She is maybe ground zero, main character
I
for
love that.
feminism. Um,
Yeah.
she took on experiences that would have broken anyone, and Survivor, I don't know. That's too like tell all. That's too self-help. She was willing to be herself and take people for all they were worth and be a bad guy. And
Mm.
I love
I
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm she has completely inspired me and made me understand characters in my own personal life and just being like, bitch, we're out here just we're out here
Yeah.
just doing our thing. Like we're literally just trying to be alive.
That's true.
And
No, I
no, she's the protagonist. She's not one or the other.
perfect.
I like that.
Anyone else wants to add something to it? Cool. Cool. Was there a moment in a book where your perspective or perception of Firdaus changed? What you thought she is, but you thought, oh, she's not what I'm thinking. Was there a point in the book that you thought that? Yeah, Ravika. You were like, yeah. When did you think? When your perception of Firdaus?
Well, when she was like, okay, I have very high self-worth, I can command whatever price I want. This body is not to be had for a low price, you and I can reject people. Something that she could not do. She couldn't have done that, and she could not do it when she was in the corporate, that organization.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, yeah, that was the point for me. That
Yeah,
was the high point for me. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's good. Anyone else? And there have been many points, there have been many occasions when Firdaus has actually rejected sympathy from people. You know, why do you think it is? I just wanted to know different perspectives on it because it's kind of everybody has a different perception of why she's rejecting sympathy. She rejected help from different people as well. Why
I
do
think
you?
it's just she was failed so many times that she just was protecting herself ultimately. I think that's why, and she was herself was the only one that she could trust herself. Again, I just like one of the things that stood out was just how the author kept writing, like, her and her small bag, and just all her talk of like freedom and stuff. I was like, it's just her and her small bag. Like she can trust herself what she brings in that bag, because unfortunately everyone else was failing her so hard, and that was like the devastating part.
Yeah.
Can you say the question one more time? I'm just
Yeah, Firdaus often rejected sympathy from other people. Why do you think she was rejecting sympathy or pity?
I'm gonna say it was also like what Nikki was saying, survival mode, like, and it could have even been pride
Mm-hmm.
because she was so used to always showing up for herself and doing things for herself. So she was like, no, I got this, like I don't need anyone. So it's kind of having that survival mode, but then also like just pride where you don't want to you know just let anyone help.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, Summer, go ahead.
I would say that she might have, like, one perspective is, and this is how I read her. Maybe she lost trust in everyone. Like, if someone showed her sympathy, she thought probably they need something in exchange of this favor they are doing. So probably she had seen so much, so many brutalities, that she had completely lost trust in the entire world, irrespective of the gender of the offering hand. So she thought that if they give me, like, if they are showing sympathy, and if I take the offer, what next? Which pitch am I, which pit am I going to fall next? What is, like, maybe she thought that I'm better off of my own. The current atrocities that I'm dealing is still better than the unknown devils that are at the hand of the person who is offering sympathy. This is how I see it. Maybe that's why, because somebody had even offered her a president's appeal that, her death row could be reduced to a life sentence, and she was not ready to go ahead with that also, because she found a victory in that serial punishment, the capital punishment that she got. And she somehow saw that if I'm given this offer, what do I have to deal with if I'm given a life imprisonment here? So she chose death row. She chose the capital punishment as a victory, as a freedom, rather than this life, which was unfortunately worse than death.
Yeah.
So that is my perspective.
Anyone else?
I'll say I agree completely with, I'm just offering something else. Just from her childhood, it's just she's known a life of labor even before she understood sexuality, and what that could bring for her is her whole life has just been, bringing water and keeping her small little space clean. Is like, that was her autonomy. Like, her whole life has been a labor. And she learned later that men are gonna, and sorry, just triggering, like, men are gonna take that from you, whether in her life, and many other women's lives, like, men are gonna take that use from you. And while you can learn to cook and clean and bear children, also your sexual abilities are also a form of capital. So I think she learned from a very young age, you can either go out in the field and be somebody's wife, or you can
Yeah.
be there for a good time, if you will. So I think she learned labor from a very young age and point of view.
That's true, and that's why probably she has lost trust in everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like perfectly said, that she basically from the get-go just saw every interaction with people, whether it was her parents or whomever, as transactional, like from the get-go.
Yeah, true. That's the word I was looking for, transactional.
Transaction. That's I totally agree with that. That's really
Yeah. One of the most striking ideas in the book was that Firdaus feels more free in prison than she ever did outside it. How did you interpret that? Any point that you want to add in it? And how
I
did you
think
see?
it,
Yeah.
I think absolutely, like, it's literally all pure luck where we end up being born. And unfortunately for the time and place that she was in, like, yeah, prison was probably safer. There was probably fewer men around. And just that fact in itself is so heartbreaking to say, that that would probably feel safer, even though she's in prison. But she has a roof over her head, and she could still, even when it came down to the most final decision you could ever have, right? Like Simar was mentioning, she had the opportunity to be pardoned. That's the most, like the biggest feat, really, in terms of because it's involving, being on this planet any longer. And she was like, this is my final proof that I have control of my life and my body. So I think absolutely for her, like she was way more free in prison.
Yeah. Anybody wants to add anything to it?
Yeah, exactly what she just said. It is strikingly unfair that she feels like in prison she's living her truth. Um,
Yeah.
which is, something I'm hopeful that will stay with all of us in reading this book because we all get to move through the world and if I were locked up in prison right now, like everything would be taken away from me. Whereas she is like, there's a quote in the book that I can't recall right now that she understood that the reason that they're going to kill me is because I'm too dangerous. Like,
Yes. Yes.
and
She did say that.
I don't live that life, like I'm clearly better off outside of the walls of a prison and she's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but that is
No, you're right.
I think she knew exactly where she needed to be and that it would well, no, I don't think that the woman necessarily knew the way that it would ring out, but that her deciding to be in there is
Mhm.
is a message to what she can say inside those walls versus what she actually was allowed to do outside of the walls, which is
Yeah, that's
really scary.
yes, exactly. But basically, she was taking the agency of her own body, of her own control. I think my perspective also resonates with what you just mentioned, Nikki and Maddie. I think outside, she didn't even have the control of her own body. Like when she was doing prostitution on her own terms, even then she was approached by, they use the term pimp. So even that person intimidated her and took control. So she couldn't even sell her own body on her own terms. But while in prison, she took the control in her own hands and she finally realized that how free she is feeling here. So maybe that's what my interpretation of that is, like she felt freer in prison than outside. So yeah, it resonates with what you just mentioned, which is sad, but yeah, she was freer in prison. Uh, Firdaus also mentioned that prostitution gave her more control than marriage or traditional work. What did you make of that argument? How does prostitution give her more control in the beginning?
I'm sorry, I'll go first.
Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead. Yeah.
um, there's just been a huge movement in the United States. I know we're all just women who are on OnlyFans, and there's a great song by NoFX um, called Lori Myers, and it's about a woman who started doing porn videos and just about her liberation of being like, no, I actually make my own schedule. I make way more money than I would have when she was working in a factory. Like, that it's actually a very lucrative way to live life, and it's not this degrading, awful thing that people think it is. I don't think I'm up for it personally, but I think it's a conversation to be had because I also have been on the losing end of men sexualizing me and just giving me $20 versus if I were to start making videos, I could probably pay my mortgage and
Yeah.
I never slighted this woman in the least for the way that she's been violated, horrified, and then when she was paying her rent
Yeah.
and getting her education, reading, like if anything, it was a endorsement, if you will, like
Yeah, that's true.
in a situation where women don't get to like go to college and be doctors and stuff like that. Sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I think that's good because I think that's also like so well represented in how many times she was like, I still have my certificate. Like I still have my certificate. She never to herself lost the value of that. Even
Exactly.
like everything, right? So that was also just really empowering to see, like, even though other people were kind of disregarding it, right? Even her uncle who sent her to the school, but like really for him it was just a place for her to be, not for her to actually be empowered by education. So I really love that she just never let go of the value of it because she knew for herself that it was such a rare opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Fish. I would also like to add here that since we are comparing marriage and prostitution, so the kind of marriage she was beaten up by her husband. She saw her father beat up the mother. She saw her uncle beat up the wife, despite, irrespective of the fact that she was a daughter of a powerful man. So somehow I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that Firdaus had slight respect for what she was doing in exchange of money rather than marriage. Because if you remember, there was a point when there's this guy who tells her that at least my profession has respect. So he's comparing his profession to prostitution, and he says, my profession at least has respect. And she's very shocked to hear that, because what she was doing with her body, she was still treating it as respect, because she was making ends meet. She was being independent. She was earning through that, and she somehow, although it's a profession which is otherwise not treated as respect, she was giving it the respect that that profession, like even if that profession in other world is not respectable, but she was treating it with respect, because she did not see that respect in marriages she had seen from childhood till her youth. Her own husband beat her. Everybody she had seen always violence in marriage. So somehow, in comparison to these two worlds, marriage and prostitution, she found a little bit of respect in this, and she treated it with respect, and somehow treated it with a way of earning a livelihood. So I think that's my perspective. That's how I read for those.
I agree. I agree. She has seen the violations. She has gone through these violations all through her life. And when it's time to make her bread and butter through her body, well, I think it's a famous saying that you cannot judge somebody on the choices they make when you don't know about the choices they have, you know? So basically, maybe that's the only choice she had to go through.
It's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Carla has her hand up for the
Sure,
next
Carla.
person.
So, first, I want to read this passage that when she says, all my life I was looking for something that would fill me with pride. Just to answer the other questions, that was, for me, it was the shocking part, because only when she murdered and no, okay, this is the end, I cannot win, so I decide what to do with the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the shocking part. The comparison with marriage, it remembered me the trade wife movement, at least here in Europe, is making a fuss. And I think that she compares that kind of marriage. Sorry, I was speaking Portuguese. So, in a marriage like that, you are not independent anymore. So, you have to cook, to clean, to make sex. So, you have to do a lot of jobs. So, you are not only the prostitute, you have also to be the maid, the cooker. So yes, so and not being paid for any of that jobs. So I think that she compares that in that way, and it makes me think about what you expect about relationships. The other person, what is giving you, what is expecting from you. So I think that the book is brilliant because it made me think about what is to be a prostitute, what means to have this kind of life, what is respect. Just because you are married, but you are in that position because you need the money, or is because you have that certificate that you are not prostitute yourself. Of course that I'm very harsh in my assumptions, but it's the same questions that we made that we make when we talk about prostitutes, don't we? So I think that the book is brilliant because makes make us think about these kind of subjects in a more free way, without prejudice, I think.
100% agree with Carla. Very good point, Carla.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't remember the phrase exactly, but thank you for bringing that, Carla. Yes, she mentioned, she compared and marriage and prostitution, and that was really shocking and hard hitting as well. Thank you
Exactly.
for sharing.
Nikki has her hand up.
Yes, yes, yeah, Nikki.
Yeah, I wrote down like I'm gonna send you all of these. There's like so
Please,
many quotes.
please,
But
please.
on the topic of this one, when there was the one line that she said, a successful prostitute was better than a misled saint. And again, just showing like knowledge is power, right? And it was just through her experiences, going to school, learning, reading, because she did a lot of reading in secret when she was at the boarding school, that she
Yeah,
started to realize like, okay, like this isn't right, you know? And another one, just to Simmer's point that you were saying earlier, about like the respectful woman or not respectable, like that. I know exactly what section of the book you're talking about because I was listening to it on audiobook. I rewound it and I listened to it like 4 or 5 times, even though it was like so painful. I was like, oh my God. So that one was when she was talking about like wherever I went, the words clung to me, cold and sticky like spit, like the spit of an insult echoing in the ear. But that line, of those two words of not respectable. And I was like, that's so devastating.
yep, it is. It is. The whole book. Like I wanted to highlight this, that, and I was like, what should I leave? You know?
Yeah. My book was an interlibrary loan, and I got strict instructions from the library not to tamper with the book. But I wish this book was mine, so because I would have highlighted the entire book. It's power packed with so many beautiful quotes. As Nikki said, painful yet powerful. Like I would also, if I were on a audiobook, I would also want to go back again, and I have so many pictures of quotes because I couldn't highlight. So.
Yeah.
Want to share with you, Wish. We'll
Yeah,
share.
definitely, definitely. I want to add something. Before we all joined, Ravika and I joined earlier. Like we were the first ones to join the call today, and we were discussing about a little bit about the writing and all that. And we were just discussing forward. I'm not sure if everybody had read the forward in the book. It's by the translator who translated it from the actual language. She
Arabic.
wrote she wrote something in the lines of it like you shouldn't be judging the writing in terms of literary criticism because El Saadawi is not a writer. She is a feminist. And to be very honest, after reading the book twice, I didn't even realize like the writing is not perfect. I didn't realize. I was the whole thing was so hard hitting. Like who cares how the writing is, right? I was too busy highlighting stuff. Like, I don't care how the writing is because the emotions, the plot, the radicalization that this book is offering is enough for me to convert and to learn more rather than the writing. So, yeah, this book is a power punch. Let's,
Definitely.
we are running out of time. We need to finish few more questions. But if anybody has anything to add, please do. We can always, the
And
book.
sorry.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
yeah, it's me. So in I have also noted down a lot of quotes. So just what Sima said in the chat. So the quote is, the lowest paid body is that of the wife. Yeah, and the other one was all women are victims of deception.
Yes,
I
yes.
wrote that section down too. It's wow.
Yeah, that's why I mean, why would we ever criticize, or why would it be a subject to literary criticism? I mean, it's all
So hard hitting,
harsh,
right? Yeah.
hard hitting, absolutely.
So
True.
fact, honestly.
Yeah. The book was written 52 years ago. Which issues do you think discussed in the novel still feel relevant? 52 years ago. Wow.
I checked the date when it was first published
Yeah.
because I thought, yeah, this is so you can't relate to this today. I
Today.
have a blurb in my book
Wow.
that says a powerful indictment of treatment of women in many parts of Middle East, and I think this is wrong
Okay.
because I think it's not only women in Middle East.
Middle East. True, true.
No, sorry. I think that Labor Herald didn't read the book.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Anything?
Well,
Yeah.
as a person that lives in the United States, like I said, listening to a tell-all from a music video girl, that yeah, they also got a lot of critique, and they just critiqued her as a slut. Like they're just like, oh, this girl who fucked a lot of guys is writing a book. And I feel like that would be the critique in the Middle East. They just don't
True.
have that in so many words. Like nobody listens to what they had to do and why.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Maria, I read your message. You're leaving in a few minutes. So when you can leave me the ratings and your quotes in the message when you get time. No rush.
Thank you.
Um, which female character had the biggest impact on Firdausi's life, positively or negatively? What do you think?
Sure.
Oh, go ahead, Rafi.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was
Again,
Okay,
you go. You go.
for me, it was Sharifa.
Sharifa.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do you see it, Rika? Like, how do you see it impacted Firdausi's life positively or negatively?
I think Sharifa, well, when she was trying to lure her into prostitution, she made her realize that she does have power. She can exercise power over men through her sexuality, and that she has a lot of self-worth, which she's not aware of. And yeah, so I think that was her first brush with kind of knowing that she had, she had control. She could exercise control over men.
Perfect. Yeah, Nico.
I cannot for the life of me right now remember her teacher's name. Um, but I think she was super impactful in just because again, Purdue's never had any examples growing up of like valuing herself and just valuing women. So I think her teacher, because she first of all, she let her teacher see her cry, and then she saw her teacher tear up as well. And even her own mother, like, never valued Ferdows either, right? Like, even when she was describing, growing up, and she went to go stay in the warm section with her father and just leaving her as a little baby in the cold section, like her mom wasn't even there for her either, right? So I think that the teacher, and it's gonna bug me that I can't remember her name right now. I think her showing her that, like, little bit of kindness, and then even just walking with her to get her award because she didn't have anyone else that supported her. I think that was a very critical moment in her being able to have those later moments where she's like, no, like, I want to be respected, even if I have to just give that respect to myself.
That's true. That's true. Was her name Iqbal? I'm not sure. I got it mixed up.
Yeah,
Her
it
name
was
was
Yeah.
Iqbal.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure because mind you, I never win any Slido. And
The 100 points on the memory wish. It's
I,
Iqbal.
I read it twice in 6 months. I should have remembered everything, but I don't. So, anybody else wants to add anything? Well, there are not too many women mentioned. Oh, there are a few actually.
There are, yeah.
Yeah.
Her
I,
schoolmate, her school friend.
Yeah, girlfriend.
yeah.
Girlfriend as well. Yeah.
I agree with Ravika, although Sharifa, like, Sh Sharifa herself, like she has also been shown as a victim in this book later on, but the way she, for some time, even as a prostitute, she did have a comfortable life. Firdaus had a comfortable life, even though she was in prostitution, but she had a respectable and comfortable life, and that's only because of Sharifa. And Sharifa kind of um, instilled that idea of power, just like Ravika said. I'm just using different words, but the idea is the same. She kind of elevated that self-worth that Firdaus was kind of not able to find it. So Sharifa for sure had a positive impact in her life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have another question, and it's one of my favorite questions because this is so, so, so relatable to me, and I'm pretty sure it's to others as well. The women in the novel participate in systems that oppress other women. You know, when they say in patriarchy, you have to fight other women. Uh, why do you think that happens? Why do you think we have to fight more women in patriarchy when we are fighting against patriarchy?
Divide to conquer. If
Divide?
they divide us, it's more easier to control us.
Yes.
If you give a prize for the good woman,
Mm-hmm.
you are making the patriarchy
Yes.
Yeah.
a reward system. So if you are not rewarded, it's because you're not a good woman. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
we have this one place among the other men. Just let see the girls fight for that one place. Oh,
So right.
you want to work outside the house, of course, but you must be in skirts during the winter, high heels. So
Mhm.
I think that sometimes we forgot all the little uh, conquers that we have gained until now. And I think that's, yeah, for me, it's divide to conquer.
That's perfectly summed up. Anyone else, Nikki?
Uh, Carla, like, yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny because I'm reading Doppelganger by Naomi Klein, and the section that I'm in is exactly what Carla just said. But just to many different types of communities. But yeah, it's those in power intentionally kind of make the already oppressed communities, in this case, women, go against each other. And it's funny because I was having a conversation with a few friends about this not long ago, where, like, here, at least in North American society, um, you're growing up, and I remember even in school, like, girls can be mean to each other, and it was out of, like, a survival tactic, I guess.
Yeah.
Because all that we saw in the media was like Brittany versus Christina, and it was always just like manipulated media of women against women. And then it's almost like we grew up seeing that. And so my friends and I were saying, like, um, you do have to be aware enough and like put in the effort to grow out of that so that you realize, okay, like this was definitely like manipulation from the patriarchy, from the capitalistic powers that be. So it's hard, and unfortunately, like some people um don't have the opportunity to grow out of that. And I think maybe that's like where we're seeing, like Carla was mentioning, like the trad wife kind of trend that's happening, because there's a lot of putting other women down in that type of modern scenario.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, totally. Anybody else? Simran, Ravika? Yeah, go ahead.
I would I would say it also comes with lack of power and oppression of the like the suppression of the society over women as well. So like Firdaus and Nawal I'm trying to remember the name of the author. Like there are some feminist superpowers. I'm calling them superpowers because their voices have definitely made a difference, right? But ordinary women and women who do not have the power to raise their voice, they have probably given up in front of the society, and they feel that staying with the staying with the ways of society, and you know they stay with the society, they team up with the society, and they forget that they also have this, somehow they have this duty towards their own gender. So it's something that they forget that they are also a woman, they are part of that gender, and as a woman they do have a role to play, but they are not as powerful, they don't feel, or they have not yet, that power hasn't surfaced yet for them, and they've given up to the ways of society, and they feel that let's side up with the stronger um, side.
Yeah.
But in a way they don't understand that they are digging holes for themselves. That is something which has been age old, and even back home I've seen this. Like it's a saying in our mother tongue, like a woman is a woman's enemy.
Yeah.
That's how they say, right? So they never, the power inside them is hidden, subdued. It has never come to the surface, which jolts them out and makes them understand that they have to side up with their gender. They have to understand that this could be them the next day. I think that kind of awakening is missing. And this awakening comes from reading books like this, literature and the voices. So if they are not exposed to those voices, if they are not brought to that kind of level, and that they are not exposed to this kind of literature, that power is subdued inside them.
I agree. They have
That's my
been
two
long,
cents.
like the other women, they have been long adapted themselves to that oppression, and they have normalized it so well that they don't realize that they are
Exactly.
themselves the victims. And the next generation that comes in, they feel like, oh, we did it. Why do you have a problem?
Exactly.
They're
Right.
conditioned. They're conditioned to do that. Yeah.
Conditioned,
This
exactly.
is the way of the world. Why do you have to
Why do you?
revolt against it? This is the way of the world. Yeah.
Yeah,
Normalize was the word I was also looking for. Thank you for
and I was looking for
articulating
conditioned. Thank you, Anushka.
it.
See how much we learn from each
Yeah.
other. Do
Yes.
you do you think there was a genuine relationship in the whole book, like any genuine relationship, or was all that BS? Any relationship? For one moment you thought, oh, this is gonna work out.
Do you mean like romantic relationship or
Not
just any
just
kind
any
of?
relationship, because at the end of the day, she was all by herself, right? She was so lonely. I
Yes.
felt so much for her, like she was so lonely. But do you think any relationship in the book that was mentioned that you felt like a ray of hope that this will work out? For example, it could be her relationship with the teacher. Maybe it was short-lived, maybe for the
Yeah.
teacher, or maybe with Ibrahim. Was the Ibrahim the guy? So maybe with Ibrahim.
Revolutionary. The revolutionary guy? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
revolutionary guy.
Revolutionary guy, right?
Yeah, but what a revolution he did, eh?
yeah.
And for some time, I also
That
thought,
made me mad.
yeah, and for some time, I also thought her uncle was a nice guy later on when he brought her into his home and he put her into a school, and I thought he was
Yes.
a changed man and all that, like whatever.
Which is so fitting because there is that stereotype of like the nice guys,
Yeah,
right? And they're usually the ones that end up
yeah.
really doing very
Even though,
significant harm.
yeah. So, do you think there was a there was a genuine relationship, or should we say no, collectively
I
say
think her I
no?
think her best relationship was the one that she found with herself. Like even though it was kind of like a survival tactic, like I think it is something that we all want to strive to get to is like being that powerful in ourselves. But yeah, other than the one with herself, I would say her teacher, even though, like you said, Vish, it was short-lived.
Chocolate. Yeah, true.
Yeah, teacher maybe and her friend, the one who had told her, "Hey, are you falling in love with your teacher?" You know, she was kind of warning her.
Yeah, I hope, Simmer, you didn't put that in
Fuzzy?
Slido.
Oh, no, it was not
I
Fuzzy.
put it in the Slido, that's why I'm not saying the name.
Oh, that's so bad.
It was
Because
I know Ravika is struggling to find her name, but
something
it's in the Slido.
with W, I think. Maybe. Yeah,
Yes,
the name.
you're
Yeah,
getting there, but I would
Watya.
wait for the
Is it
slide. I would
Watya
wait
or
for the
something?
trivia.
Yeah.
um, if Firdaus had access to different opportunities like education, financial independence, support, would her life have been different? Or was society always pushing her toward the same outcome? It is debatable, so I want to know what's your thoughts on those.
I think there's a lot of nuance. Can you ask the question one more time?
Yeah. If Firdaus had access to different opportunities like education, financial independence, and support, would her life have been different? Or was society always pushing her toward the same outcome?
I mean, I feel like it's a big gray. It depends because she did, unlike, you know, many girls her age at that time, she did get access to an education,
Mhm.
but it still didn't prevent, you know, the circumstances that she had to undergo. Um, I think and again, she did end up getting money,
Yes.
right? A very difficult way, but she did end up getting money, and it still didn't prevent her from a man taking all of it from her.
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
so I think it totally depends.
Yeah.
If she had all that stuff and was born in a different decade, or if she had all that stuff and was born even just, you know, a few kilometers away, like it's tough.
Yeah. Anybody else?
The woman her uncle married, she was from an affluent family, and
Yeah.
she also had to, bear the brunt of her husband's beatings, and so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just, yeah.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I resonate with both of you. And I also thought that she did have a basic schooling. She could have gotten a job, yes. She had financial independence at some time. We all start with low-paying jobs anyway, but she could have done that. She did that initially. If before going into prostitution, she tried to do jobs, and she also had some sort of freedom when she was living by herself. I think when she was working in that company where she was sharing toilets with a lot of people. She had kind of freedom, but again, it didn't work out the way she wanted. So it's not always, these things never work for women. Like these things don't guarantee your freedom or the way you want, right? Oh, next question. My most favorite. What do you think is the most radical statement this book is making? Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Normalizing domestic violence in marriage. That is, like, I hope I'm reading the question correctly, but in every marriage that they have shown, be it Firdausa's parents or uncles or the any character's story they are talking about, domestic violence has been portrayed as if this is how marriages are. So that is something which is really heartbreaking, and like that is it's not the statement that the book is making, it's kind of reflective over the society that
Mm-hmm.
that community is living in. And in fact, I've also seen many marriages where domestic violence has been very prevalent, and many people in that family have justified some way or the other thing. So I think that would be my answer to that question. I hope I understood the question. And
No, no, perfect. No, this is the question. This is something like something radical that this book offered you after reading the book. What did you think of that one radical statement like that, earth-shattering statement? Oh, I'd never thought of this before. Um,
I
Anybody
guess
else?
Maddie wants to go next.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, Maddie.
Just if you're too scary, they're gonna find a way to ruin you.
Yeah,
If you pose too much of a threat, then you're gonna get taken care of.
yep.
Yeah.
That's
And
very
what
good.
I forget who shared it above, but the pen is mightier than the sword. I think this is probably the best analogy for that.
True, true. I also thought that what I came across, I think it was mentioned in the last few pages, that she realizes that because she was looking for dignity all her life, she wanted to be a dignified, like, pride, as Carla mentioned, she had that thing in her mind. That respectability is basically not necessarily equivalent to freedom. When she was a child, she was very obedient, watching your father eat and you go to bed hungry. She was obedient. She was asking, and her father not giving her food or whatever. She was very obedient, like doing whatever mother and father saying. She was still abused. Then she went to uncle's, doing all the household work. Even after after school, she was doing all the work, taking care of the kids and all this. Her uncle and aunt, they still married her off to an old guy. Didn't work in her favor. So, never free, even though she was obedient there as well. And then, even in her marriage, she followed the society's rule, got married, how society works and all that. She was obedient, she was doing everything for her husband. He was counting her food morsels, and he was abusing her. Didn't
And
work.
that man like rescued her, and then when she didn't want to
Exactly.
fuck him,
Yeah.
he was like, "Nah, bitch, you're out in the streets." Like,
Exactly. So she was obedient. She was doing all her work, I don't want to use the term because they expect women to be, don't say anything, just follow the rules and all this, even though the rules are made by them. So even if you do them, this is what is happening to her. Nothing worked in her favor. She was never free. When she was considered free by herself, when she did it on her own term, even though I'm not normalizing prostitution, but when she chose that, that's when finally she realized she was free. So respectability and obediency never equivalent to to freedom. That's And I will choose freedom every minute of my life rather than respect or respectability. So that's what this book basically made me realize, because I also feel like, okay, I don't follow everything whatever my family or my parents or whatever the values I'm imbibed with. Maybe there are 100 people who are judging me for whatever I do, but at the end of the day, I don't want myself to be like 100% right in everybody's mind, because at the end of the day, I choose my freedom, what I want to do. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, I'm fine, you know? And that's what that book basically made me realize. Yes, doesn't matter what you do. At the end of the day, you're a woman and you will be judged anyway. So,
and she only hurt one person in the book.
yes, yes,
She killed one person, which obviously murder is wrong,
yeah,
but just think of all of the compounded moments where people didn't think anything about hurting her.
Hmm.
True.
And also, by doing what she did, she probably protected many other women that were going to be um, violated and, hurt by him.
True. That's so true.
So true.
That's very true. Um, did this book change the way you think about power, gender, or freedom?
I think for me, it just reinforced everything I already thought. To be honest, I'm already quite full of rage when it comes to that stuff.
Female rage, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else wants to add anything?
I was gonna say no, like I already hate not my husband. He's the last he's the last good man. But any other man in the world, I'm always like, well, no. Like
Agreed.
you've had a good run. and now we get to have our moment of describing all of the shitty things that you do just waking up existing. So no. Um it it did make me feel more empowered because the woman that wrote the book, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and actually, she is not like a fierce man hater. She more focuses on women being autonomous, women realizing their worth, workshops on creativity, and I think that's something to be forged from this. Not so much deciding that we hate men and they should be burned at the stake because
Yeah.
no, I'm obsessed with my husband. Like I love my husband. But other than that, just us taking our autonomy back and us existing as individuals in relationships with men versus us being something associated with property and their worth, you know.
Sure. I agree. I agree. There are nice men on this planet as well, definitely. And feminism is basically we treat both sexes equally, right? That's what it is.
The thing is, the good men that are out there also realize the same things, right? So
True.
I'm also very lucky with my husband because he will call out other shitty men for doing shitty things, which I appreciate. And I think just to add on to what Maddie's saying, um, the other piece is just helping each other get out of situations like that. And it doesn't have to be obviously. I mean, I hope that no one else has to go through something that this character, these people that were real had to go through. But little things, whether it's like microaggressions at work against women or things like that, right? Like I think
True.
that's definitely something I try to do anyways, but this book really reinforced, okay, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Definitely. There's so much to do, so much to improve, but yeah. Simmer, are you ready with the Slido?
Yes, I am. Although this discussion is so good,
I
I'm
know.
sure
I know. I just
everybody
realized
will agree with me. You
that.
don't want to do Slido anymore. This
No,
discussion is so
we
interesting.
need Slido. We need somebody to win the next month's book. Let's do the Slido quickly and then we'll do the rating, right? Because I think
Yeah, so this time the questions are for 20 seconds. I hope 20 seconds are enough. And this is the Slido code. I hope everybody remembers the website. Go to slido.com. And I'm going to start the quiz now. Let me
Wait. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
take your time. I haven't started yet. Don't worry. Take
we
your
won't
time.
start without you, Maddie.
Yep. I'll wait for everyone to join, only then I'll start.
Simmer, I probably won't join. I will watch it on your screen if you want to share your screen.
Sure. Why you don't want to join, Bish?
No, I'll play it fair.
Okay. Sorry, I'm good.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. It says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
What?
I thought you made me the host, so
I did. Okay, now I need to struggle again.
I can see that.
I did.
Carla is here, Maddie is here, Nikki. That's Ravika, right? Ravika, you're RS, right?
I just made you
And then,
co-host, Summer. Can you try again?
okay, yes. Let me share.
There you go. Ladies, root
I'm
and
just
fingers.
joining. I'm just joining. I cannot.
Hi, Carl.
Why am I not able
We're waiting when you will join our book club.
Welcome to the book club. Yeah.
So I have only 5 people. One of them. So I won't join and Vish won't join, and we are 7 out. Anusha is here. Okay.
There you go.
So Anusha, Carla, Maddie, Nikki, Ravika. We all are here, right? Okay. Let me minimize this. How do I minimize this? Okay, I'll just slide it. Okay, so we have everybody. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, Ravika, now you'll get your answer. You were looking for the. It's actually the first question.
Oh, that's so funny.
There you go. Even now,
It's clocking in 6 seconds. 5, 4. I love the way it's sliding. All
Ravika
right,
gave a
it's
hint.
time.
Ravika gave a little hint when she couldn't remember the
Yeah,
name.
starts with W. The answer is Wafia. Wafia was the name of Firdausa's roommate in boarding school.
There you go. Very, very smart of you, Simmer. You knew whom we're gonna forget. Very smart.
Yeah, all right. It's time for our next question. What was the strongest turn-off against men that Firdaus used to hate the most? She's mentioned it a couple of times. You guys have great memory. I guess we have 5 answers. Everybody got it right. Good job.
Dirty
It was
black.
dirty black fingernails. Okay, moving on to the next question. What was the name of the wealthy woman who gives Firdaus shelter when she runs away from Bayum? We have discussed that many times, so.
That's good.
Right. Guess we have everyone's answer and everyone's got it right. It's Sharifa. Good job, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. Why was Firdaus in prison on a death row?
Oh my goodness. She was arrested for smuggling watches in Egypt. Love that.
And the hardest part about trivia is to find the
Other
options.
options.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Well, there you go.
All right. It's time to reveal the answer. She was arrested and is facing the charge of the murder of her pimp. Moving on to the next question. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. What caused a shift on Firdaus when she was living a comfortable life as prostitute and she decided to take a job? Good job, you guys.
Yeah.
Look at you. All answers 100% correct. Everybody.
Yeah.
Dia told her that her work is not respectable.
I don't know if I missed it. Do we know how old she was when she got arrested?
I think she was 25 at this time. She was 19 when she got married.
Yeah.
Then
She was mentioning that she was 25.
She was
Yeah, I
okay.
think she was 25. Yeah. Right. Is everybody ready for the next question?
Yep.
Ready.
Mhm. What's the name of the prison Firdaus was imprisoned in?
Holy cow, everybody knows.
Good job.
Yeah.
Locking in 2 more seconds. Right. The correct answer is Kanatir. Kanatir. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is the correct answer.
You know what? I think the third time I'm gonna listen to it in on an audiobook. I want to change
I,
the pronunciation of so many things. Yeah.
yes.
The
And
narrator
after
was
hearing Nikki's thoughts, I want to hear it. Like, I want to listen to the audiobook as
the
well.
narrator was really good. I can't remember her name, but I'll look it up here.
That's great. It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, it
Our
does.
narrator's voice, sometimes it makes audiobook much more pleasurable than the physical
Yeah.
copy.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Is everybody ready for the next question?
Yep.
Okay. Who accepted Firdaus's certificate from the principal on behalf of her parents' guardian? I think I made it very easy this time, and we've already discussed
No,
this.
Simmer, we have gotten smarter.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody's very thorough and has a great memory.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember the names. I think we just discussed them so much during the
Yeah.
discussion. Yeah.
And I gave the name myself in the chat. Somebody was asking what is the teacher's name. I gave the name. I was just realized, oh my God, it was in the trivia. That's
Cool.
okay. We
100%.
can move on. Sorry?
Yeah, next question. I think
Okay.
everybody answered it 100%.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, perfect.
What was the name of her youngest cousin who was very fond of Adas? Now, I wanted to add some tough ones.
We are up to the challenge, Simmer.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Remember. Oh,
Okay,
oh no, I
okay,
got it wrong.
okay.
Not so much, not so
Ah!
much. Let's see. All right, time to reveal the answer. It's Hala. She used to call her Dos, right?
Yeah, that's
Dos.
us.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Who does Firdaus fall in love with and how do they meet? I guess I made it very easy. Plus, our discussion also gave away all the answers.
Yeah.
All right. Good job, you guys. It was Ibrahim and they meet in the garden of her company's office where she worked. Next one and the last one. What makes Firdaus leave her job?
Holy cow. I love the options. She's caught taking a bribe.
All right, time to reveal the answer.
Drum roll, drum roll. Who's the winner?
Let's see. Let's see who was the fastest. Ravika. Good
Ravika!
job, Ravika.
There you go.
So everybody got the right answers. Ravika, Anusha, and Maddie, all of you got all 10 correct, but it's Ravika was the fastest.
Yeah.
So she got the first. And then Nikki and Carla got 9 out of 10, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys. Give yourself a round of applause.
Good job,
Good
everyone.
job.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I already have a copy, Vishaka, of the book.
Okay.
So maybe someone here who doesn't have it, maybe. I don't know. Like it's up to you.
I mean, if who's the second place?
Yeah,
Anusha?
second place.
Yeah.
Second place is Anusha.
Anusha, do you have a copy of the book?
No, no.
Okay, there you go. So the
Okay,
first,
thank you.
Ravika,
Thank you, Ravika.
yeah, Ravika,
Congratulations, Anusha. That's so
thank
generous
you.
of you,
Yeah,
Ravika.
thank you
I
very
know.
much, Ravika. That's very
Thank you to
generous of you.
Ravika.
You see the women power we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You're so lovely. Quickly, let's do the star rating. How much do you rate this book and why? 5. There
I give
you
it
go.
5.
Ravika said 5.
5.
5.
5. All of us 5, I think.
A
Five, five.
definite 5,
How many of
definite
us
5. It
are?
was so power packed.
We're
Yeah.
7.
This was
We are
this was
7.
the most devastating book so far, but like my favorite one.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. Where is my calculator? Because Michelle has also sent her ratings. I will give you the ratings. I think she has said 4 stars. I will check it later. And so yeah, I think this is the highest rating book that we had, and this broke us so much.
I know. Books like this make me feel blessed to be a reader. Like, I feel bad for the people who don't
Yeah.
read books. So these kind of books make me feel blessed. And
And having
This
these
is
conversations too.
absolutely,
exactly,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
So
definitely
lucky.
wanted to be able to say 5. Like, this is a book that makes me take back being a woman. Like, she's going to die and I'm gonna live. Like, I'll wake up tomorrow and make some of the choices that she's made and get to see the results of that. So that's
So true. Yeah.
Beautiful.
that's 5 stars.
Absolutely.
That's
Grateful, always grateful and thankful. I've always noticed that it's the geographical privilege that we have. I always cherish that. Some people don't get to have that choice. One thing I was mentioning, Ravika, before we joined the Zoom meet, that I want to read the first book that this author wrote, Women and Sex, that made her basically go into exile. And the Egyptian government kind of banned her from her own role of the position of whatever she was doing at that time. I want to read that book. I'm gonna find that. I hope it's not $300. So I'm gonna hunt for that and let's.
Well, I live in the States. I will buy a stockpile and mail them to y'all because
Oh,
no, real talk. I'll do that. What's
we'll
it
see.
called? Women and Sex?
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it is available. Who knows? Because I think her books are printed in some kind of stocks, and
Yeah.
once they are sold out, I think then they wait for more demands.
Well, let me look because
Just gonna
America is
just
like,
gonna check here too on at least on Amazon to begin with, if they have it in
53.
Canada.
It is $53.
Okay.
Really? Oh, okay. There you go.
well, I will check and see how much they are, and I would be honored to mail them to y'all if I can get them in the
Right?
States.
You're
Aw.
so Maddie.
Yeah. Thank
Bro, we gotta use this capitalism bullshit to our advantage.
Yes, 100%.
You know what? We're gonna build our
You
own
said it.
library and we are going to call it our own data center.
Yeah.
Cool?
Don't
Oh my God, you
I
know what I was
love
just
triggered,
thinking?
that.
triggered. But yeah.
Environment friendly data center.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Environment friendly data center.
You
I
see how funny we started with this conversation and we are ending with data
so
center?
true.
So uncanny.
It's inevitable, but I love
Yeah.
y'all.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
love this
everyone for
book.
Thank
joining. We'll see
you.
you next month on.
5 stars. 5 stars.
What about the
Are
Oh,
you
Oh,
telling the
no, no,
next
sorry,
book?
sorry, sorry. Thank
And
you
the
for
next
reminding.
book?
Thank you for
I
reminding.
have this ugly sticker and I'm not allowed to move it. Can you
That's
Photoshop?
okay.
Let me
I'll Photoshop mine somehow.
I
um,
don't know if you can see.
Maybe let me take it off and I'll tape it back again. I hope the library people
We
don't.
won't tell the library, don't worry.
I'm gonna do that. Just give me 1 second, Vish.
okay, take your time. I haven't clicked it. Oh, there you go. What a beautiful
See, this is
cover.
women rebel. I'm being rebellious.
There you go.
Rebel women.
There you go. 1, 2. You have your book? Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Guys, no, wait. Sorry, I didn't know we were doing it.
It's okay. There you go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. There you go. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again on 30th of July with Madame Bovary.
Okay.
Good
Gonna be
night,
fun.
everyone.
Excited.
Thank
Good night,
you.
Mike.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you,
Love you
Vish.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Carla, for staying up late.
Yeah,
And please send me your quotes if you have anything,
Yeah.
right?
sure.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you, Vish. Thank you, everyone.